These are red flags that he don't have no money. If you want to be a prostitute, just say that. Oh, okay. If you want to be a prostitute, just say that. It said that black men have to sit out here and deal with a prostitute mindset. Grand Rising Queen, that means he don't got no money. How do you know what people have? Why are you even worried about what people have versus who people are? I said what I said, period.
What up, gents? It's your boy Sean C, and today I got another hot one off the presses. Today we're going to talk about 3 stories of women that found prison inmate love. Yes, so I found this article in the New York Post. I'm going to link it down in the description so you guys can check it out for yourself. We're going to talk about these 3 stories, these women, and what we can gain from this situation. Now, when I first saw this, it actually didn't shock me at all to know that there's women dating in prison. I think we kind of know that, okay? Some of these stories, when we get into the details, may shock some of you guys or may be like, oh, what's going on? And we're going to talk about those specifics. I wanted to highlight, it's already hard enough in the dating market as it is. There's good guys out there, but women don't want the good guy, okay? A lot of women think that good guys are boring. And I think that it was a bunch of girls, I can't remember the channel, but whatever, these women were on there and they would rather have dealt with drug dealers than a dude working a normal 9 to 5. And they said because the drug dealers it's kind of flashy, it's kind of exciting, and they know how to get the bag. And I haven't read the article yet, so I suspect as we read through this article that we're going to find out some of that. So a reality show on WeTV called Love During Lockup premieres on January 7th. So you guys will be able to see this in a few days. It explores a relationship between people who date jailbirds. Here, the Post meets with 3 women devoted to men behind bars. My fiance bought me a $20,000 Beamer from behind bars. The girl right here, her name is Gabrielle Neves, and was taken aback when she heard that the cellmate of her cousin's incarcerated boyfriend had seen her photograph and wanted to call her from jail. It wasn't something I was really into, that I really wanted to get into, said the 27-year-old bartender from Orange, New Jersey. But I eventually gave in and we started talking from there. Her admirer, Chris, who is serving 6 years for robbery and possession of drugs, insisted on paying her phone bill so they can call and text each other on a regular basis. First off, it doesn't shock me that this guy reached out to her, because I'd be on the submarine, and some of the things when I was in the Navy on the submarine, one of the things that would stick out to you was getting those emails, getting those messages from your family and your loved one, kind of help you do the time out there. See, a lot of the guys I served with, everybody liked getting their mail, but when you're locked away or when you're gone, you're out to sea, locked in prison, can't be outside or whatever, these things mean a lot. Right there, this is an opportunity for these women to exploit these dudes that need someone to kind of help make the time pass. We need to figure out why these women think it best to talk to these criminals. They've been together since 2019. His generosity is extended to paying her rent, buying her a $5,000 engagement ring, and treating her to a $20,000 used Beamer. She says looks as good as new. Neves explains that the cash, which is sent in installments through Chris's lawyer, comes from a settlement he got because the authorities had pretty much beat the hell out of this dude in Rikers. She says that we take part in our relationship 50-50. I know how to handle him and he knows how to handle me. The romance may have raised eyebrows amongst our friends and family, but Neves has developed a carefree attitude, explaining who's ever with me is with me, and whoever's not, I'm sorry, it has to be that. She's defying it to the end, but why wouldn't she? This dude is in jail, he's buying and taking care of her needs, and all she got to do is just text him and do a couple other things too, but we'll get to that. And she really thinks she's in love. You know, I don't know what kind of stuff has been going on in this 27-year-old's life that she feels that the best relationship to have is with an inmate, some dude that actually robs and steals. So basically, she was saying both places are at least a 3-hour drive away, so she visits her fiance every Saturday, or at least before the COVID restrictions. We used to touch each other under the table, recalled the Jerseyite, who would discreetly pleasure Chris with her hand. Other inmates and visitors looked around for us, checking the guards weren't watching. So they still getting their little relations on, and actually people that's going to visit is is helping them. Man, I guess you gotta get it. Listen, if I was a prison inmate, I think you would just love to have somebody that just to feel a woman's touch again, especially if you have a long jail or prison sentence. I understand, if you will. I understand his position on this. Soon, however, the couple would be able to enjoy each other's company as often as they want if everything goes to plan. Chris will be released later in the year. I'm totally looking forward to being with him, says Neves, who wants to have a baby as soon as possible. Right when he gets out, she added, I'm ready. By having the baby with this dude, he got money, and I think she wants to have that baby to secure this dude who's already been spoiling her. And there's women out there that likes to be spoiled, and that's what this dude is doing. Our next story, I'm dating 4 inmates at once. So in the past, with friends asked single mom Tia Simpson why they never got to meet her boyfriend, she played it safe and lied. He is in the militaries overseas, she would say, or she would say he works on the road. But now, the 36-year-old from Buffalo, New York, is proud to proclaim he's a effing prisoner. People should be allowed to love whoever they choose, said Simpson, who began dating in prison convicts some 20 years ago. Wow. So let me stop right there. Let me read that again. Who began dating in prison convicts some 20 years ago. Now, how old is she? So 36 years old. She's been dating convicts for 20 years, since she was 16 years old. This woman has a type, and I gotta wonder what's going on in her life that she can't get a regular dude, that she continues to mess with these convicts. But let's continue to read on with the story. Seeing an inmate is nothing to be ashamed about. I want to break that stigma. It's time to stop shunning a good person who may have made some bad decisions in their life. Simpson, a mortician, gives the benefit of doubt to a number of jailbirds. Rather than seeing one particular inmate, she is currently sharing her affections with at least 4 felons incarcerated in prisons on the East Coast and in the Midwest. There's BB, a 38-year-old locked up in New York, Dante, 31, also in New York, and Hottie, 33, now serving time in Illinois. And then there's a 25-year-old. The other men are serving sentences between 10 and 40 years, mostly for serious crimes related to drugs. None of them knows about each other. According to Simpson, they would be jealous like all men if they did. I'm gonna go back. She said seeing an inmate is nothing to be ashamed of. She wants to break the stigma, and she wants to talk about loving whoever you want to love. But here's the thing. Is that real love if you go ahead and you're dating 4 of them and you're not gonna tell them because you don't want any of them to find out? What is this about? This woman has been doing this for 20 years, and these dudes are serving 10 to 40-year sentences. So it's like she gets off on this. Totally don't get that. Simpson says she first met BB online 3 months before he was arrested in 2017 and sent to prison for life for crimes related to drugs. He was a 3rd-time offender, she called. It was 3 strikes and you're out. Oh, that sucks. That 3 strikes and you're outlaw. Freaking crazy, man. They had an exclusive relationship for several months. I tried very hard to be his support system, Simpson says, and during prison visits even got away with some relations, if you will, while pretending to use the vending machine. So she did the whole reach back. Girl, you got to hit that reach back on her brother, okay? And again, they stayed here. The visitors look out for each other, all right? Explaining that the visitors and the prisoners help block views so people can get their rocks off. Her and BB broke up, said that she deserves to be free. In 2019, she was encouraged to contact Hottie by her hairdresser who had thought they'd have a lot in common. So the hairdresser's like, girl, you need to go ahead and get this prison dude in your life. Get this prison dude. Like, the hell? Like, what kind of advice are women getting in the hairdresser? Wow. They hit it off immediately. As for Dante, he caught Simpson's eyes in the visiting room while she was chatting to BB. By then, as more of a friend. Simpson said Dante was gorgeous and would always wink at me while I smiled back. He had a pretty girlfriend, but after I heard one of the guards say his name, I looked up his inmate number on the prison website and started writing to him. She keeps the files on perps who catch her eye online, logging information such as their crimes, sentences, and prior arrests, and it's relatively easy to track them down via various department correction websites. She keeps tracks of all of them with the help of a vision board. I guess the biggest thing about dating an inmate is that you become every type of woman to them. She concluded, you get a combination of a caring mother and a fantasy symbol. They need you because they crave attention and desire. Okay, I told you, when you go away for some time, of course you're gonna want these things. When you go away, you want anything that you can latch on to. However, what is it in that woman that makes her think that she needs to go for these type of dudes? What is it in her that she collecting these boyfriends friends that are in prison. And it was 16. So what was going on in this woman's life? I'd be very curious to know. And our third and final story in the article, we've never met, but I'm moving states to be with him. Divorcee Santiba Webb connected with her inmate boyfriend Talzi after watching a TV documentary that featured the dating website writeaprisoner.com. You literally could write a prisoner. Ladies, if y'all want to get you an upstanding man, a real man, okay, a manly man, writeaprisoner.com. It was about a woman who married a murderer jailed for life. Webb told the Post, I decided to give the online agency a try. Like, what possesses you to think that, like, I'm gonna go find a man, I'm gonna go on a prison website? Like, how lonely and desperate do you have to be to think prisoners are the way to go? She turned to writeaprisoner.com in July 2019 after dating the wrong guys and immediately developed an attraction toward the tattooed felon. He's hot, he's handsome, the billing analyst, 39 years old, said. His smile is so beautiful and so big. Now, while she has yet to meet Tulsi 40 in person, Webb plans to relocate from Portland, Maine to her boyfriend's home state of Georgia ahead of his expected release this year. My whole life has been about taking risks and dealing with the consequences, but I'll know happiness when it happens. The mom of one, who has shed nearly 100 pounds over the last few years, said the dramatic weight loss helped boost her confidence and motivate her to search for love in unconventional places. Seems to me that this was a woman who was very insecure and has been insecure for a long time due to her weight and maybe due to the way people perceived her. Yes, she lost the weight and probably developed that confidence, some confidence, but it doesn't mean that you dealt with the trauma that is in the inside. It doesn't mean that you dealt with the rejection, the pain, and the hurt. Having momentary confidence is good, but most women need that constant validation. And I'm sure that a prison inmate who's stuck in jail has nothing but time to give a woman validation that she needs. She and Talzi, who was sentenced to 10 years for possession of a firearm and drug offenses, started off as pen pals, but soon began to share text and email. He's everything I look for in a man, said Webb. He's a family guy with a couple of daughters and loves being outside like me. He tells me I'm beautiful, she added, revealing she sent him before and after photos of her figure. He tells me I'm beautiful. That's needing validation. And this dude probably genuinely feels and thinks that way. These women, I feel like, are getting fed the validation, feeling like they got it. Also, right in that last article, it talks about feeling like I'm their mom and I'm also their desire symbol. That's gotta feel empowering, especially for women that I'm pretty certain have issues that they need to deal with and come to grips with. Meanwhile, though some of Webb's friends are supportive of the relationship, others are less impressed, saying she's stupid, making a big mistake, or being used. But nothing is going to stop her from moving to Georgia after meeting Talzi at the prison gates. I'm really nervous about meeting him, Webb admitted, but I'm also very excited about the whole thing. That's it for the article. My God, man, I feel like these are women who desperately need to talk to somebody. I think there's some real self-esteem issues there. Even though these guys are criminals, to them, it's like these guys need them. Somebody desires them and wants them and gives them the attention that they need. But you're talking about guys that have made bad decisions with their life. And can a person go to prison and clear it up, go ahead and come out, change their life? Yes, absolutely. You get tired of being out there. You get tired of being locked up. And here's the thing. These women don't look too bad. I'm not saying they look great, not my type. I'm just saying they don't look terrible. It's irresponsible to me. That's enough for that article. That's enough for me. Tell me down in the description below, do you think these women are silly for dating inmates and finding love in all the wrong places? And as always, live your best life.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.